Aloha, friends. Thank you for joining me for this Moonday message. All right, so it was super sunny and even hot on my way over here, and then came this massive cloud coverage. And Spirit is telling me the cloud coverage is because of what is happening above it. There is a lot happening galactically right now. A lot of our galactic families are coming into support in the month of June. And it feels really good. The, May still felt like a purge. And you may still be, Spirit's telling me some of you may still be in the energy of May, where there is some purging that still needs to happen. However, the energy moving forward is, what is the best word for me to use, Spirit? Because there's a lot of words coming through right now. Can you slow down, please? It's opportunity. Opportunity. Okay, so lots of opportunities coming in. Starting this week, there are going to be things that open up for you. So say yes. My guys are telling me say yes. This came through on a client session today as well. That, even if it's not something that you usually do, if you've been propositioned for something, you now have the discernment to move forward and to tap into different things to see if you even like them. So maybe it's something that you've never done before. Maybe it's something that you tried with different people, Spirit is telling me. And like this new group of people is going to feel completely different. So, it really is the energy that is around you. So say yes to these opportunities, fill into them. If you take an opportunity and then you get in it and you decide, you know what, this isn't for me, or I'm just not feeling this, now you have the power behind your voice to speak up and say, I thought this was for me, I'm not really feeling it, I'm gonna go ahead and pass. Or, fill it out. From that opportunity, there might be other opportunities, other connections that come into play. Be open. They're saying expand. Yes, there's the energy, y'all, is what's coming in for the collective at mass. They're telling me is joy, is play, is reconnecting, coming out of hermit mode, getting through those tower moments, being able to shift into a completely new vibration where you open yourself up to more opportunities, more play, more fun, more excitement, more adventure. Do something new, do something different, maybe sign up for a class. They're saying don't just sit back and wait for these opportunities to come to you, seek opportunities. So if there's something you're interested in and you see a flyer for it, reach out. They're really our guides are saying it's time to move forward. Also with that, thank you, Spirit, they're telling me that it is time to be seen. Now this message has come through in layers. I remember many months ago they kept telling me it was time to be seen. A year ago they kept telling me it was time to be seen, and we've been shedding back these layers and allowing ourselves to be seen more and more. But there is a massive shift that is happening for all light workers, and it is to be seen in your most authentic version of self, being you without having to put on any masks, without having to people please. Freeing yourself from those energies of judgment, of ridicule, of shame, freeing yourself from all of those lower vibrational frequent emotions. Thank you. Freeing yourself from all of that so that you can step forward and be you and be unique and be weird and be, whatever it is that is you, be you. So it reminds me back into childhood where I feel like we all started off with that own uniqueness to us. The difference, okay, that was interesting. The difference in, coming into a group and being your own quirky self and not caring what other people think. And, we, over time, we were pushed down with judgment and self-sacrifice. Spirit is telling me like it's time for that to stop. The shift that's happening is really allowing us to be our own unique selves and not have to sacrifice who we are to make other people feel better. And sometimes that means that maybe you're a little fiery and your fire comes out and you're a little sassy, and whoever that fire came out on, whoever that sass came out on, perhaps they needed it. They needed to feel that wrath of, it's like they're reminding me of this book, and now I can't remember the name. If I remember, I will link it in the description. But it's mirroring, for those of us light workers, we're very gentle-hearted. Thank you, Spirit. We're very gentle-hearted and genuine, and we often reflect back to people what we would want from them. So even people who are not kind to us, we tend to be kind to them. People who, want to take advantage of us, and this is all, in the past, we would tend to see the best in them, right? To see through to their soul, see through to their heart, see through all of the crap that people have been through, right? And really being able to see them from a soul level. And now Spirit is saying it's time for that to shift. Yes, it's great to be able to see people at a soul level from the heart space. However, sometimes we need to be the mirror to people so that they can learn whatever lessons they need to learn. Now, my husband just had something going on with business the other day, and he came to me and was telling me about it, and I channeled in that moment, and the channel that came through was, remember, there are lessons in it for everybody, right? So if something shifts, if something doesn't go right, and you feel like, oh man, I really want to make this happen for this person, or I want to help this person out, maybe that person's not ready to be helped out. Maybe that person needs to grow through some more life experiences. Maybe they have financial karma. Maybe they have different karmas that they're working through. I was working with some animals at the animal sanctuary in Alpine in San Diego, and one of the animals told me, I'm working through my karma. Please don't help me. This is my karma right now. I'm living through it. I want to endure whatever this is that I'm growing through. And I left the animal to be. I left that soul to be, because it's true. We choose what we want before we come into Earth Realm. And this came through today. Any being that incarnates in Earth Realm is already a 7th dimensional being in different realms, right? We are the game masters. We are the game masters. We have mastered what it takes in all the other universal spaces, and Earth is a school for us to come and to continue our education and to learn from. So there may be lessons that we chose when we came in, and with you being kind to somebody, or you bending over backwards to help somebody, perhaps they don't need that. Perhaps they really need you to stop being there for them. Stop reaching out to them. Stop being the one that is always taking care of everyone else. Be you, do you, be in your own self-love, and that is what is going to radiate out. So once you're in that self-love space, you will become so radiant that the only thing that will attract back to you is your own radiant love, right? So feel that vibration, let it come in by being in your own radiant space. Now, being radiant means also shining our light, and shining our light means shining our light on people who are in lower vibrations. And so you may get people who just don't like you, or you may get people, my husband and I have had this happen before. We've walked into a restaurant, sat down to eat. The people next to us, it was a big party of people. They had just got their food. Our light was so bright in that space. They literally got up and moved to the farthest table away from us where they could, like, they asked their server, can we move? And they left. And in that moment I asked, like, was that because of us? And Spirit said, yeah, your light was a lot for them and they're going to get what they need out of it. And you don't need to feel bad. You don't need to dim your light. You don't need to tone yourself down. You need to allow people to learn the lessons that they need to learn so that they too can rise, right? The only way we get through this ascension is together. We're not doing it without anyone. Everyone that is in Earth Realm is rising. Now, of course, there's going to be different levels for a long while still, right? But even the most dense of bodies, I should say, of bodies in this realm, they're also rising. And, you know, this came through in my client session today too, where I remember, you know, having to go back and visit with some people that I really did not want to visit with. And I kind of, you know, I put my guard up before I went into this space because I knew how dense they were and how they just weren't into any kind of self-healing or bettering themselves. And when I got there, I realized, and this was family, and when I got there, I realized that because I had done so much work on myself, it shifted everyone else in the family. So whether it was little things, you know, whether it was, you know, somebody just going to the gym more often, or maybe going to the gym at all, you know, changing the way that they eat, you know, trying to make the body more alkaline, getting out and being around people and not being afraid to be around crowds, whatever it was, you know, my family that I was around at that time, I was pleasantly surprised at how much they had shifted and lifted. And I know that they have a lot of lessons that they still need to learn through, and that's okay. And okay, and so that brings me, they're telling me bring up the cards. So there are 3 cards that wanted to come out of the oracle deck today, and this oracle is shadow and light. So I feel like it is preparing us for this full moon that is coming up. It is bringing whatever shadow needs to come up right now so that the moonlight can cleanse and clear and you can purge and let go. So the first thing is apologizing and holding grudges. So maybe take a minute and feel, is there anyone that you are still holding a grudge against? Is there anyone that, here's a really awesome way to look at it, and it may be a little hard to understand at first, but I will explain. Is there anyone that you feel owes you an apology? Right? Because if we're all mirrors of each other and there's someone that you feel owes you an apology, maybe they betrayed you, they abandoned you, these are deep core wounds, right? Things that actually take a long time to heal, no doubt. I've been growing through my own core wounds for the past, you know, 5 years, 6, 7, maybe 7 years now. I don't know how long. But these are core wounds that are coming up through people. So let's just talk about betrayal. Let's say someone betrayed you and you feel like they owe you an apology, right? Maybe it's time to go back and look at the dynamic of that relationship and think about what it reminds you of and go deeper into that wound. Face that wound. And maybe it brings up anger. And then you say, okay, anger, I see you, I feel you, I recognize you, and I appreciate you being there for me when I needed you. I'm ready to let go. Y'all, it sounds so simple, and the truth is, it really is that, I don't want to say simple, because it's getting there is the hardest part. Allowing yourself to get into that space where you say, okay, anger, I feel you, I recognize you, I understand that you went through this, and I'm ready to let it go. Recognize that. And if you want to go deeper, recognize where it's sitting in your body. Recognize where it's at. Take a moment. Okay, they're saying do it right now, so I guess I'm going to guide you through this. Take a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax the shoulders. And I want you to feel if there's any anger in your body. Are there any sensations, any pains, any tingling sensations that you feel in your body? Now fill into that space, and maybe it's not anger, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's betrayal, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's fear. Whatever that emotion is for you, feel into it, feel where it is. Recognize it, accept it, embrace it, and tell it you're ready to let go. Some emotion may have come up. You may have wanted to scream or clench your fists or cry or yawn. And this little tool, this little tip that I've learned from many different practitioners now, it seems so simple, and yet it goes so deep. So fill into whatever it is that's left, that's coming up, that's holding you on those old timelines, that's not allowing you to push forward into the abundance that is here, that is waiting for us to just tap into. And let go. Free yourself from these blocked emotions. And Spirit is reminding me right now that we, as self-healers, that's what I like to call myself, a self-healer, because I've done a lot of this work learning through other self-healers and cultivating my own experiences. And the work that we do for self is the most important work that we will ever do. And the work that we do for self is helping those that are on a higher, on a lower vibration, maybe in much more density, that are needing a shift. So by you healing yourself, you are giving permission for others to do the same. By you standing up to your boss and not allowing them to take advantage of you, you are giving permission to others doing the same. By you speaking your truth and not biting your tongue when something makes you feel a certain way, you are allowing others to do the same. Okay, I feel like they went on a little rant there. I know there was something else, but they said that it's not important. They'll bring it back by the end if we need it. So apologizing. I'm going to get back to the card. Apologizing. Think of who it is that you feel owes you an apology. And then, here's the hard part. Apologize to them. Apologize to them because they had to be the lesson. They are the soul that chose to learn the lesson through you, right? They are, that you chose to learn the lesson through. Thank you, spirits. Like that was backwards. They're the soul that you chose to learn the lesson through. So I'm going to use my own experience. I felt a lot of betrayal and a lot of abandonment from my mother. And I apologized to her. And I told her I loved her and I forgive her. And I just say this out loud. I don't have to say it to their face. You can write it in a letter if you want. You just got to get it out of you. And I told her, I apologize that you had to be the soul to teach me these lessons about betrayal and abandonment. And I thank you for being the soul that taught me these lessons about betrayal and abandonment. And I forgive you for being the soul that taught me these lessons about betrayal and abandonment. And I love you for being the soul that taught me these lessons about betrayal and abandonment. Right? Core wounds, going deep into those. I feel like that is, they're bringing this up so that some of you can learn to let go and enjoy life a little more. What came through today in this session was that a lot of people are still listening to that, to, the parent that advised you on something when you knew better. You know, a lot of times in society, you know, it's all about, it has been all about pay attention to your elders know better. Well, elders can also be younger than you in this society, because you can be an old soul, right? I know that my soul is much, much older than my mother's soul. So I essentially was her elder, right? And they're saying, go into these wounds and fill into them and let them go. They're really driving this in. So I feel like there is some like gripping that's happening, not wanting to let go, not wanting to forgive, feeling like you need to, like somebody needs to apologize to you, like you're the one that needs to be asked for forgiveness. But it's all energy, y'all. Just let it go. As soon as, I can tell you, even from my own experience, I can tell you, as soon as you apologize to the soul, just like I just said, and as soon as you forgive and let go, that energy shifts away from you. You don't have to sit in that energy anymore. It shifts back to the person who made the choices they did or made the mistakes that they did. And then they get to learn their lessons from it. And when they learn those lessons, then they continue to rise. They continue to ascend. They continue to get into higher levels of consciousness, right? And again, they're bringing it back to the togetherness. When we rise together. It's not some people are rising and some people are not, y'all. Everyone is rising. Even the most dense of spaces needs to rise, because Mama Earth is rising. So there is going to be a massive shift. Also, they're reminding me that the May was a month of really processing and working through the high heart and the throat chakras. And now it's moving forward. It's about speaking your truth, being you, being seen, not holding back, getting out there. Okay, and then they want me to go on to the next card, which is energy and motivation. They're saying that there's been a how do you say this? Like a binding, thank you. A binding in motivation, a binding. Okay, can you go deeper into that, Spirit, please? What is the binding and how do we let go? Okay, they're saying shift your energy. So instead of walking into a room and allowing people to shift your energy, maybe you're in a happy mood and you're feeling good and you're excited for your day, and then you get into traffic and people in traffic are cranky and tired and just not in the, in a good high vibrational energy. Don't allow them to get you into a space where your energy drops, right? Instead, shine your light. Be happy. Sprinkle a little happiness on everyone. Let you be the one that shifts the energy in the room, as opposed to others shifting your energy. Now, they're saying this because they also want us to get out. They're saying it's time to get out. If you've been avoiding large crowds, it's time to push yourself. Get out into a large crowd. Go into a public space where there's a lot of people. And you can do this slowly, but in this space, they want you to practice being in your energy, not allowing the energy of the crowd to shift you. We are light workers. We are here to move forward. We are here to show the way, to light the path. So allow yourself to go out into these spaces. Maybe it's just a grocery store at a busy time. Be out in that space and be in your energy. Allow yourself to raise the vibration of that space and not lower into the vibration of the many. Okay. And then I just want to make sure that's all for that. And then the last one is reflection and overthinking. Overthinking is happening because so many light workers are they're saying cabining. That's a strange word to put it, but I get what they're saying. They're saying like you've been, held up in your home and not gone out, not wanted to be around people, not allowed yourself to be in big spaces because because the energy, because it's dense, right? Because a lot of shifting, a lot of people are growing through a lot of shit, and they're saying, no, it's time for you to get out, get into community, be in spaces where you can actually open up and meet people. My husband just went for a walk around, like he does this little walk around the neighborhood, and he went on his walk the other day and the neighbors stopped him and he had the best conversation with them. This was like maybe 4 or 5 blocks from where we live, and he had an amazing conversation with them. And the people, they told him, do you walk by here at nighttime too? And he said, yeah, I do. And they said, we feel your energy when you walk by. We can feel your aura. Like there's this light that walks by almost every night. And he's like, yeah, that's me. He didn't realize that he was shifting the vibration just by being out on his walks, being in a community where people were home, they were in their houses, and he was walking through the community. So you have that power, and it's time for you to open up and allow more play and fun and laughter and community into your life. So are there any other messages, Spirit, that you want for this week? Okay, they're saying this is not just for this week, this is for the month of June. It's going to continue to cultivate throughout the rest of the month. So this is just the start. I feel like things are definitely speeding up, and it's time to ride some waves. Like, have fun, play. If you get knocked down, get back up. Just enjoy being here. Enjoy being in Earth Realm. Everything doesn't have to be so serious. All right, I feel like that is it, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fabulous week, and I'll look forward to connecting with you next time. Adios. One last little thing that wanted to come through. There is a lovely children's book called The Little Soul and the Sun. The Little Soul and the Sun. If you're having a hard time with forgiveness, with apologizing, with feeling like people still owe you an apology, check out this book. It's such an eloquent book. It will explain things on a lovely level, is what I'm hearing. Lovely. Oh, I love it. Okay, I will link one of the book readings in the description because I love this book so much, and I know that it can be found on YouTube, and then you can always go out and purchase it. I highly recommend having it in your home. It's just great energy. All right, y'all. Until next time, adios.